Greetings everyone and welcome back to another Minecraft modding episode for 1.9.4. I realized I was a bit fast in the last episode, but it was because I was trying to go over things fairly quickly, because I know a lot of you want to get into the more advanced stuff, or at least I know some of you. I will be putting a link in the description to another YouTuber that has also just started his channel, doing some modding tutorials, and I think he's doing a bit more basic stuff, so I will be linking to his channel. And if you're into the more basic stuff, you should probably go ahead and watch his videos before you watch mine. You can still be watching my videos, because I will be focusing on more of the making you a modder, whilst he's trying to show you how to do a lot of the basic stuff that I did in my old series, just for 1.9.4. like I think he's gone over like how to make food and stuff like that. I'm not going to be doing that in my tutorials. So yeah, if you want to know more about the basics of Forge modding, then go watch his tutorials first. Anyway, let's get into the tutorial. There's a few things I want to cover in a short amount of time. So yeah, first off, I want to make a item, because we did make a blog last time. And it's not because we have to make an item, but I just want to make sure that everything works as it should do. So we're going to be opening up our mod items here, and it's pretty much, as I said, the same as making a block. Oops, instead you don't put block, you put item, and let's call this simple item. We're going with the symbols because yeah, we just want to test. Okay, so this symbol item is going to be equal to a new item. Again, this is a vanilla class, so, and this one does not require any parameters, and we're going to be setting the unlocalized name as well for this one, and I'm just going to be putting symbol item. Okay, as we did with the block, we're going to be making a utility class, and this one will obviously be called item registry. And the reason why I'm making different classes for this instead of just having it like in here is because I want to, have some organization in this. I want to make it organized. Yeah, that's the only reason I really do this. It's for my own sake, because I like it very organized. So there will be a register item, which will take an item, and there will be the public static void render item. It's actually register render for an item as well, and we're just going to be importing item. We can go into our block registry and we can copy this line right here, and that's it for the render, because that's pretty much, I talked about it last time. Yeah. We're using an item, and this time we're actually dealing with items, so we don't have to make the item into the block into an item, because it's already an item. All right, and for the registering, there is also a sorry, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to go into the game registry, and I want to do register item, and again item, and then item dot get unlocalized name, and we want to remove the first 5 characters. Okay, and so in here we want to do item registry dot register item, and down here we want to do item registry dot register render for the item. Now we're going to be needing texture and a JSON file, so I'll quickly make the most simple item texture in the whole world. Literally, it's gonna be so super duper simple. You cannot believe how simple this is going to be. That is not what I wanted. I just want to make a circular shape here, and I want to fill it up with this color. That's a nice color. And I want to I want to add some glow with no radius, but put the brightness up like this, like that. That's beautiful. And we add some noise as well. that. There you go. That's our texture. You want to head into your modding folder. So here, go into source, main, resources, assets, your mod ID, textures, and into items. And remember to call it what you put your unlocalized name to. So for me, that's symbol item. Now we're going to be making the JSON file. And again, I'm going to be using my tool. I did export it on my desktop. So right here, we're just going to be going into the modding folder, here the MCP folder, getting that path, click on items, path, set the path, the item name is symbol item, the mod ID is mod ID, and create the item JSON. Okay, there we go. And oh, it updated, and here is the symbol item JSON that just spawned in, whatever you want to say. And that should be it for the item. We're going to be testing this afterwards. Now let's test it meanwhile. So now I want to show you what I want to show you. Oh yeah, we should probably have a look at CreativeTabs as well, real quickly, because they're really easy to make, and maybe naming your blocks and items. So let's just quickly test this out, because I want to make sure it works. So if you do give in the console when the game starts, and you do mod ID, there's symbol and there's symbol item, and here is the item, and it looks pretty weird. And ooh, is there something wrong? Okay, there's one thing wrong. And if you've had an item in your hand before, you'll realize what is wrong. What's the difference between this redstone item and this one? Well, this one has no depth, and that is because the JSON file needs some code if it's supposed to add depth to it, I'm pretty sure. We'll be doing that in a second. But first of all, let us create a CreativeTab. Okay, so to make this CreativeTab, we need to go ahead and make a... We're going to be making a new class in here and call this mod CreativeTabs, just for the sake of organization. And as with all the other ones, we want to have an init function, like so. And this function is going to be calling the CreativeTab. So public static CreativeTab. CreativeTab. Is that what we want to do? Is it called CreativeTabs? It is. And we want to put CreativeTab equal to a new CreativeTab mod, I guess, like so. And we just want to create this, and we're going to be creating this in our miscellaneous. And as you can see, that will for you add this function right here. We're going to be adding a constructor as well, like so. And we're going to be calling the super constructor, and this needs a string, which I indeed think is the name. So mod CreativeTab. Well, it's not the name, it's the sort of like the unlocalized name, I'm pretty sure. Let's have a look. It is the I don't think it's the label. I do not think it's the label. I could be wrong, but I think there's something called get translated tab label, and this is where you put the label name. So we're going to be putting in mod CreativeTab, and for the tab icon, we're going to be putting in the symbol item. Alright, and now we want to call this mod CreativeTab thingy mod CreativeTabs.init. Pretty sure it needs to be after the items, because we we want to set the tab icon to an item, so the item needs to be initialized before we can do that. But there's one thing more though. If we want to add the blocks and the items to the creative tab needs to be added before, because else it hasn't been initialized. It might be something we need to quickly figure out there. Yeah, I have an idea. Okay, so the creative tab should be added to the game with our item and mod creative tab. So yeah, that is how you make a creative tab. And to add items or blocks to it, you just simply go into your item, either your file or your definition of it, and you can do set CreativeTab mod CreativeTabs.CreativeTab. That's how we would do that, but I'm pretty sure that will give me an error. But anyway, let's keep it there for now, and let's do the same thing with the block, like so. Okay, so naming items and blocks and creative tabs. Yes, and to do this we need to create a new folder inside one of our packages, and that would be inside the mod ID package, and this is going to be called lang. And in there we want to create a new file and call it, I'm pretty sure, en_us.lang, like so. And to give a block name, it is tile dot, so just like I mentioned with the unlocalized name, but this time we need the tile, and this is called symbol, and a name, and then equal to, and then the name. So we're just going to putting simple, and for the item it is item dot your name, so simple item dot name equals simple item. And I'm pretty sure you can do this for creative tabs as well, but we already have a function that sets the translated label, so we do not really need that. But if you wanted, it is item group and then the name that you put here, and then dot name, and then what the name is. But yeah, that should be it. We're going to be running it again. I think that we're going to be getting an error, a null pointer exception, because we're trying to add the items to a creative tab that has not yet been initialized, because that's done after the items. But we'll see. I could be wrong, and it could be very wrong. But when we go in and we have our items, as you can see, simple and simple item. And okay, the blocks and items are not added because the creative tab has not yet been initialized. But should we do it before the item that we're trying to add as the logo, or what did they call it? The tab icon, of course, has not been initialized as well. So this might even just crash and it was another error. And I could be wrong. Okay, I'm wrong. That's how you do it. So make sure you initialize your creative tabs before your blocks and items, should you want to add blocks and items in there, which of course you want. So yeah, that is pretty much it for this tutorial. We just quickly went over items, creative tabs, and how to name blocks and items, and yeah, that is pretty much all I also wanted to cover. As I said, in the next episode we're going to be looking at something fairly different. It's going to be LLibrary and what it has to offer for you. There's going to be a sort of mini series inside this modding series, where we'll be focusing a lot on the LLibrary and what you can do with it. And yeah, the first thing we're going to be covering is probably going to be commands, because it's fairly easy to make your own commands with the new version, or with LLibrary. So yeah, we'll cover that in the next tutorial probably, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. As always, have a good day or night, and I'm out.